Hi, good evening. It's Monday, January 12th, 2026. It's about 7:31. I'm gonna call to order the board meeting for the Libertarian Party of Colorado. Ask the secretary to take roll call.
Well, we have Keith,
Present.
Doug, Jones, Robin Hurley, Allison Spink, Betty Rose Ryan, Janet Turner, Joe Johnson, and Sean Batt for board members. Visitors, we have John Jersman, and it looks like that's it. Do we have anyone else online?
Okay. Do we have looks like we have a quorum then. Next item on the agenda is I'm going to make a statement by the chair regarding the conduct during board meetings. The purpose of these monthly board meetings is for board members to discuss and take action on party business. The members have elected the board to perform this task. Due to some disruptive behavior of members during the past two board meetings, we are making some changes to our board meeting format. During the meeting, only board members will be allowed to speak. The computer microphones of non-board members online will be muted. Non-board members present in the meeting room are asked to remain quiet. If there's a topic being discussed that the board wants membership input, the chair will ask for board votes for membership input. And during that membership input, only one person will be allowed to speak at a time. There's two items that have been added to the agenda that come right after board announcements. We'll have a member announcements, so any member can make announcement of upcoming events. And the other item agenda we added was member comment period. This will be a time for members to present issues of concern or interest to the board. Each member will be given a maximum of 3 minutes. Personal attacks are prohibited. The use of profanity or ethnic, racial, or gender-oriented slurs are prohibited. If a member disregards these rules, they will be asked to leave the meeting room or muted if they're online. After the member comment period, the board members will have the opportunity at their discretion to respond to any misinformation or clarify statements made during the member comment period. Any questions about that? Hearing none. The next item is the approval of previous board. We missed the approval of the agenda. Excuse me. Let's back up to item 3. Approval of agenda. Is there any corrections or additions to the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we add an agenda item under new business for discussion of the breach of the X account.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that item? All those in favor of approving the amendment to the agenda? I guess anybody objects to that amendment? Hearing none, the amendment is added to the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda with any other amendments, I guess, or changes? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Anybody object to that? Hearing none, the motion passes. The agenda is approved. Moving on, I already did item 4 on the agenda. Sorry about that. But step 5, number 5 is approval of previous board meeting minutes. Excuse me. Is there any corrections or additions to the board meeting minutes? I had one. Mark Montoni's mentioned there's the welcome chair, committee chair. His name actually, the Mark is a C, not a K. Just a small typo.
I will change that.
Do I have a motion to approve the December 8, 2025 board meeting minutes?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Anybody object to the motion? Hearing none, the motion passes, or the minutes are approved. Next item is the treasurer's report. I'll turn over to Allison.
Are we going through the board reports now, Keith? I thought we were posting them and just talking on them quick.
Yeah, the treasurer's report we'll probably always have on the agenda.
Okay.
If there's any comments you want to make or anything, it's your opportunity to do that. You did submit it, so everybody has the report.
So for the report, I finished building a template for tracer filings. It took a while to build, but it's pretty repeatable, so it won't take long in the future. I was pleasantly surprised it actually went in pretty easily. So all of the data is in Tracer. I'm just waiting on filing to get some information for cash donations that came in from the Festivus party. I haven't made much progress on crypto, but that's my priority before the next board meeting. I was able to, or I did have someone end up in my email asking to help. So I have some resources that can help give some guidance and feedback along the way. So we'll definitely be using them. And I have an FEC report due on the 31st. I'm not concerned about timing on or getting that one filed timely. I think that's it. Any questions?
Thank you, Allison. Here, no questions. We'll move on to the next item is any update on the 2026 State Convention Committee report? Anybody have anything want to mention on that?
The only thing I have is apparently it's now up online, so we can now order tickets, and I would encourage everyone to send it out to your email list. Now's the time to buy the ticket. It's a reduced rate until the end of March 17th, and it's called Support the Goal. I Support the Goal, and then the regular price kicks in. It's a significant savings. I mean, it's more than 10%. And then the tickets, because we have to have our meals in 72 hours ahead of time, the cutoff for ticket sales is 3 days before the convention. However, if you forego the meals, you can still get tickets, and we always buy a limited number of meals over and above, but when I say limited, it's like 3. So please don't wait till the last minute. You may not get fed. We haven't got signed contracts with the speakers, but we have had handshake agreements. So our speakers are Joe Jorgensen and Adam Kokesh so far. That's about, we raised $590 at the Festivus party to support bringing one of our speakers in. So.
Excellent. Thank you, Betty Rose, and your committee. Actually, that came live on the website this morning, so I registered and it seemed to work fine. So we'll get some information out to our members on that in the coming weeks. Keep reminding them. Right,
Yeah,
move on to, yep, go ahead.
In the past, because when Michelle and I ran the conventions, we started selling tickets 9 months or 6 months ahead of time, depending on how fast we got an event center. And we had a newsletter that went out, so we hit people 8 or 9 times. And they say for people to remember something, they have to be hit 7 times. So yes, let's send out as many emails mentioning the convention, even if has to do with something else.
Sure. Yeah, I'm definitely before that March 17th early bird discount rate. Okay, moving on to unfinished business. We had talked about a social media policy, and I think someone did submit one to the board packet here. Who wants to talk about the proposed social media policy?
Mr. Chairman, I don't know if you can see raised hands on your computer.
I can, but I don't know whose hand it is.
Okay, there's a raised hand from Kirsten. Oh, just went away. Kirsten just went away. Okay,
Bet she had her hand up. Yeah.
yeah, okay. I'll just interrupt and mention when somebody raises their hand then. How does that sound?
Because not everybody, the board members are not unmuted. So they have to raise their hand to speak then. Okay. Okay. So moving on back to the social media policy, who's going to discuss that proposal? Oh, Kirsten's back. I see her. Okay, and Kirsten has her hand up again. Yep, there I see it now. Yep. Can you unmute Kirsten?
Hey, yes, I'm sorry. I was trying to chime in earlier. But the first item on the agenda, I'm curious why we're choosing to limit speech and not allow free speech, especially within the Libertarian Party.
Sure. The last 2 board meetings, we had people yelling at each other, talking over each other. And so we're going to allow people to speak, but not when we're doing our board business. And if there's, did you hear when I read everything about that?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's basically, you know,
Yeah.
things that would be censored by all social media platforms we're now censoring.
Well, we're a board, we need to conduct our business. So if we had members keep interrupting us, and that's sort of what happened the last couple meetings, we can't get our business done and it's disruptive. And then they start yelling at each other. We have to have some order. And it's really hard to do because some are in the room, some are online, and it's hard to control everybody. So
But why are we controlling people as the Libertarian Party?
because it was chaos, especially the last meeting. We had people yelling at each other. I'm not going to put up with that. So this will be a faster, more efficient meeting, and people have opportunity to speak at the end of the meeting.
I'm ethically completely averse to that, but
Okay.
you're the chair.
Yeah, it's no different than a city council meeting or a county board of commissioner meeting. That's
And
how we
everything that the
run.
state does.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Joe.
if I may comment, it's not just what the state does, it's what any organization does. You have to have decorum when you have a meeting, otherwise it's total chaos. Thank you.
Okay. So back to my social media policy. Do we have somebody that's a proponent of that policy that's going to speak?
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Sean. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Did the board get a chance to read over that policy?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
I would like feedback. What did you guys think? How do you like it?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, who wants to speak?
Joe Johnson.
All right, go ahead, Joe.
Sean, I don't know if you saw my email. Overall, I really like it. However, it's a bit confusing in that it says that we deny the accused person for 30 days, and the person can appeal that decision, but has to wait till the end of 30 days, which then makes it confusing, because if the entire time that they would be shut off is only 30 days, then it's not actually an appeal. So could you explain the actual intent there?
Yes. I think that was I think that was I think I misrepresented what I was trying to get across there. Because I did not mean for it to be that they do not have time to appeal within that 30-day period.
Okay, so they don't have to wait 30 days to appeal?
Right. Let me here.
So maybe you want to strike after the 30-day period has elapsed. So it would read, users may appeal a ban by contacting the Libertarian Party of Colorado through official channels, period.
Yeah, for sure. Bear with me one sec. I'm just pulling it up here so I can edit it. Okay, so we're looking at.
So we're looking under the appeals section. There's just that two sentences.
Let me change that. Yeah, users may appeal a ban.
So you strike after the 30-day period has elapsed.
Okay, I just struck that.
Does that meet your intent?
That meets my intent. Yes.
Okay. Otherwise, I agree with Joe. I thought it was very well written, and I mean, for a first draft or first go around, I think this is a very good document that, if things come up or change, we can modify it. But it looks like it's a very good document to me.
Okay. Good. I'm glad you like it.
Is there any other questions for Sean regarding the social media policy? If not, I'll enter. Yes.
is this something that the communications director can put into place, or do we have to vote?
Restate that again, Betty Rose.
Is this something that the communications director can put into place, or is it something we have to vote on?
Well, I think the board should vote on it, and then Sean or the communications director would utilize this policy. I think it should come
So
from the
moved.
board.
No moved.
Second,
so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Joe moved it, Betty Rose second.
Okay, I've got a motion and a second. Anybody object? Hearing none, seeing none. The motion passes to accept this social media policy
With the revision.
with the with the revision. Excuse me. Yep.
Perfect. In that case, I will go ahead and send an updated copy to everyone.
Okay. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Moving to new business. Last meeting we guess we brought it up. It's new business. The Libertarian Party of Colorado post office box location. Blake Huber did a little investigation and gave me some information. I did email that out today. Sorry, I didn't quite get in the board packet, but our current mailbox is in Littleton, and it's basically $490 per year. Mike Spalding lives nearby, and he checks the mail periodically. He's willing to continue to do that, so we're sitting okay there. There's a couple of proposed locations for $166 a year, which would save basically $224 a year if we went to a new location. And those are more or less downtown Denver. One's on South Broadway near I-25 in Alameda, and the other one's on, well, north, sort of near Coors Field or southeast of Coors Field, pretty close to Independent Institute. And each of those box locations is $166 per year. So, weighing the pros, I mean, we'd save $224 a year. We'd have a Denver mailing address, and it'd be more a central location in the Denver metro area. So I see those as the pluses. The cons, this would be, well, we'd have to change and update our mailing address and everything that we have, vendors, website, etc. And then the post office, which Mike explained to me, because I think they moved this last time they moved this, they didn't think too far ahead, and the post office only forwards mail for 6 months apparently. So we need to keep the existing address for a while, or probably for a year, until we get everything transferred. Which timing now is good because the existing mailbox we paid for, I think in February or March of 2025, so it'll expire roughly about 13 or 14 months from now. And so if we got a new mailbox, we could get everything transferred that's to the new address that comes to the old mailbox. So I'm open this up for discussion. I mean, this is, it's up to you folks. I guess the one thing would be if we move the location, somebody would have to check the mail. And I don't know how often Mike checks. I assume every couple of weeks at the minimum. And yeah, would one of these locations be somewhere someone could check, more than just the night of the meeting? Betty Rose, I see your hand up.
yes, between the two mailboxes you mentioned, I know that the one over on off of Alameda, it's a Cedar actually, Cedar and Broadway. I'm familiar with that. It's easy to get to. It is on a one-way street, but it's really easy to get to. I'm not sure about the other one.
Yeah, the other one's downtown. I looked and make sure there's another couple others, but they don't have much for parking, and you don't want to be hunting for a parking spot downtown to check a PO box. So both these locations seem to have off-street parking where you could park and then go get mail. But Broadway was definitely very accessible. You're correct. Any other comments or discussion? What is the we really need to find something. If we move the location, say for example to Broadway, is that a location where people drive by periodically, or somebody?
My sister lives about 4 blocks from there.
You're what?
My sister lives
Oh.
about 4 blocks. Well, it's her 6 blocks. It's within walking distance of my sister's
Oh.
house, but I don't know how often I would get down there necessarily. The other, I'm wondering, we're talking about saving maybe $200 a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you figure for 10 years you're going to save, a couple grand, but I mean, it's really, I don't want to move it and then have it be a hassle for someone to go check, because right now Mike's willing to keep doing it, and he's done it for a number of years. And I don't know when he gets the mail, he gets it to somebody, I guess. I don't know if he mails it to people, or I don't know how that happens, what mail we do get. I don't know how much mail we get.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Joe.
Question, I realize I'm being old school here with the outreach handouts that all had addresses on them. How much handouts and things that we have has the current address printed on it that we would then have to spend money to update?
Well, that I don't know, but it's, I guess I've done this in companies where we moved and yeah, it's getting letterhead and everything. So there's some cost and time involved with that. Most of our stuff's electronic now, but we really do need a PO box that sometimes we get important documents through the mail. Allison
I think-
has her hand up. I think it's
I'm
Allison.
sorry.
Somebody has their hand up.
I just wanted to finish. My
Go ahead,
question
Joe.
there is,
Sorry.
I think that that's something we need to check. If we've got boxes of outreach material that has this address on there, we need to take that into consideration. So I think
Well,
we need
yeah.
to look at this decision.
We would need to use that in the next 12 months, basically. You're right. Good point. Hey,
Allison. Sorry, Allison, are you able to unmute or do I need to unmute you? Hearing no response.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I haven't in my short term here this time and last time there wasn't much at least that came for me in the mailbox, but Mike did recently send me mail. I'm not sure how he got my address. I assume one of you all gave it to him, or maybe I did not remember. But we just got one check and a $20 bill from someone we don't know. So there's not much on the finance side that comes through the mailbox. I'm not sure that do we even have any material to send out?
We
Okay.
have a lot of
I've-
outreach material.
Yes, there's a lot of stuff in the trailer and stuff. I haven't
Okay,
looked at
I
it.
forgot about the training. Okay. And I would just say that all of our registered addresses are Ken Carroll. They're not, I honestly don't even know what the address is to, but it's not a PO box.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. Any other discussion anybody wants to add? Does anybody want to make a motion? I guess what's the board want to do? Do you want to look at what we have for stock material? We don't have to make a decision tonight. That's the good thing about this. And just see how much material we do have before we make a decision.
I believe that's the best course of action.
Okay.
Second that.
Okay. I guess I got a quasi motion to postpone this till the February meeting. And a second. And so is any objection to that? We will take this up in February again, and then that would give, I guess that'd probably be you, Betty Rose, to look at what's in the trailer or the storage unit.
Yes, I can do that. I have a question though. Is it just the money? Is that the only reason we want to change this?
Well, it's two for you. The money's one. I mean, over 10 years, it's $2,000. The other one is, I don't know, Ken Carroll. I thought that was somebody's house, but it'd be nice to, I think Joe brought up, have a Denver address and then, the money and location. But I'm flexible on this, but we're trying to save some money if we can. And part of it is the fee at that location. My understanding is somebody else bought the post office boxes there and they doubled the price or something here in the last year or two. I don't know if they're going to keep increasing it or not. I don't know.
The post office box is the same size as what we have now.
Yeah, we have this. I asked Mike that too. Do we have a big one or a small one? He goes, we got really the smallest one available. So yeah, we just got a small box, and I don't know the size of it. I didn't get that detailed information, but we really can't downsize at the current location. Okay, so we'll if you check on that just to sort of get a rough tally of what we have with old addresses, and we don't do a lot of mailings. A lot of everything's email now, so I really wish we didn't have to have a post office box, but I think we do get things from the Secretary of State occasionally through the mail and other I know there's summer activities. A lot of them mail us things, I believe, for events and things. So um, moving on, the other item of new business was general liability insurance, and
Excuse me. You missed an item under unfinished business before you moved to new business under
Oh.
LP for the field post office box.
what did I miss?
Continuity binders.
Oh, excuse me, sorry. Let's go back to unfinished continuity binders.
Thank you.
Who would like to speak on that?
That's me. And I know, well, I imagine everybody's tired of that. But just wanted to show what I was able to do since I had to do the audiovisual technology job. I had all the equipment, so I created a manual that would be a continuity document. And I'm just going to scroll through it. And you're going to see how wonderful it is. Covers all the steps for setting things up with a really nice diagram. Am I selling too much? But boy, you all know how it is to step into a job and have no documentation. Most of us were fairly lucky that we stepped into our jobs and kind of knew what was supposed to be done. Janet, unfortunately, had no manual, no nothing. And it takes months to really figure it out. And then all that's lost maybe next year, maybe 2 years down the road, or as soon as you resign or something, and then the party suffers. So I would highly recommend just writing down, doesn't have to be a beautiful manual, just writing it down somewhere, somehow, so that somebody can get some tips. And that's all I have to say, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, I left a continuity binder when I left this position several years ago. And when I step back in, there's nothing. So these things get lost. We need to figure out how to make sure that they stay someplace.
Okay.
Which to piggyback on that, what happened to the continuity binders? I know there was such a thing at one point.
Anybody know?
I don't know, that's a question, not a statement.
Maybe the investigation team will find one
Okay,
or a location. Not sure.
I can comment on that.
Can you raise your hand?
Yeah, who's that?
This is Ross. So I was never an official board member, but what I overheard was that the continuity binders were discontinued for, I don't know what it's called, but a more professional service that's really common in nonprofits. I wish I could give you what they're called. It's very similar. I don't know who handled that or like who actually wrote them up, if it was the secretary's duty or if it was outsourced. So I know something exists. And I'm not the one who knows where it is because I was never a board member, but I know there's some version of it.
Okay. Okay, I see Allison has her hand up.
Has anyone looked through SharePoint? I was pretty sure I haven't. I'm trying to log in now to see if I can goof around, but I know that we were using, we're saving documents out in Microsoft somewhere. At least I was. Like I had a folder I was saving things in, and now I don't even know where that is. I would think, Kristen, you were here before and now. Do you know if the prior board was saving documents in Microsoft somewhere? I can
I
goof around.
believe, yeah,
Sorry, go
we
ahead.
transitioned to the Microsoft platform, but I don't know where the documents were. I could reach out to some of the former board members and maybe get some information on that.
Ross does.
Oh, it's super weird because I know I used to have a
Mention my name.
folder and now I go into Microsoft and there's nothing.
Actually, if you guys could unmute Ross, he probably knows.
Yeah,
Ross,
I
you're
couldn't,
live. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
couldn't tell you off the top of my head because my access has been removed to everything, but at one point I did. And I
Well,
could probably
that's
I could
weird.
probably find it again.
I think I might be lacking access. It's weird. I'm the admin. I can go goof around. But I seem to be lacking access too. So I don't know if like was our license downgraded or something? Um, like
Didn't
I have a
we,
library, but there's
wasn't that one of
what's
the
that?
things we talked about when we did the AWS billing? I thought that was at least the subscription was taken care of, so I don't think that has changed.
The
But yeah,
subscription.
if you have admin access, we can talk about that and figure it out.
Yeah, I'll goof around, and if I can't figure anything out, I'll let you know. It's just my access looks weird. It feels like there should be something different here.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, we can figure it out.
But yeah, sorry, Kristen, if you could reach or Kirsten, sorry, if you could reach out and see if they have everything saved somewhere, that'd be wonderful, at least to help troubleshoot if we can't find it.
Okay, thanks. And as with anything, I guess I always had it in my companies like, well, if someone gets hit by a bus, is there documentation what they did or the urgent things? And I think with these, booklets, wherever it was, electronic files, they continuously need to be updated because things change. And so we need to keep looking at those. So thank you, Doug, for taking that task on.
I
And
believe there is, and that Ross just said that.
okay. So anything else anybody want to add about the continuity binders? Okay. Then we'll move on to back to new business. I was talking about general liability insurance. Jacob Lura did some investigation sort of over the holidays, so he got some numbers, but not everything put together. So I'd like to have that put together in more of a format where you could look at numbers and options and probably vote on that next meeting. I don't think Jacob. I don't think he's online. Um, but we'll continue working on that, I think, for the next meeting and see whether we get an annual general liability or try to do it per event. I think it'll be cheaper to do just an annual, be less hassle than trying to worry about each event that we have that we might want insurance for. So, um, any discussion, any follow-up on that? Anybody wants to say anything? Hearing none, seeing none. And move to the next item on new business was the X account. Apparently, a sustaining member, unauthorized sustaining member, posted some things on X account. Who wants to talk about that?
I guess I will. I don't, we changed the password. Someone seems to have been logged in and was posting for 2 weeks. I thought it was Sean. I think no one else on the board was really paying attention. I don't know Sean's opinions so well, so didn't really seem to question it. Don't know who it was. Uh, don't know how they got access, but they're out now.
Yeah, I think I got something emailed to me. There's a Russ Daniels from Trinidad, um, admitted it on his Twitter account or X account that he was the one that had been doing that. I'm not sure what his motives were. He's a sustaining member, to do that. I don't know what he was thinking. Um, and to me, that's sort of trespassing in a way. You're in a system that you're not supposed to be in. And so, Allison, you have your hand up.
Um, Based on, I mean, I can't imagine Russ Daniels was ever given legitimate access to Twitter. For him to get in, he's either hacked into my phone to get the password that I sent to Sean, or he was using James Wiley's access. I sure hope he hasn't hacked into my phone somehow. I don't know why he would admit it, but yeah, I think some of the behavior that's been demonstrated in these meetings and on Twitter kind of give an indication that he doesn't have a very moral high ground. And
I
other
would
than
move,
that, I don't.
Yes, Betty Rose. You done, Allison?
Yeah.
Okay, Betty Rose.
I would move to censure. We've censured people for less. Not this board, but other boards have censured people for less. This is trespass. Close to fraud.
I second.
Okay, I have a motion and a
that.
second to censor Russ Daniels of Trinidad. And what do you, I guess I need a discussion on this. I guess I have a clarification. Censor meaning, what do you mean by that? Betty Rose?
It means that you make a public statement that you disapprove. And we have taken steps to prevent it in the future. We, as a board, cannot eliminate somebody from the party, and I wouldn't want that power to be in the board's hands in the first place, but we can say that we disapprove publicly.
We can also attach some kind of thing to it that says, you know, he's blocked from commenting on the account or indefinitely. That's about all I can see that we can do.
That's what I would do, is I would censure, make a public statement, and I would block him from commenting on our social media.
He's
Yeah.
blocked on Twitter, Sean. I would certainly, if you're dealing with him on Meta, I certainly believe he should have a lifetime block. I don't know that it does much good to make the public statement. I think that just gives him more attention, and I think that's what he's dying for. I mean, his behavior really screams, give me attention. I'm a miserable person. And I think we just kind of feed into his narrative doing that.
Yeah.
I think
I get-
I'm not arguing against it. I totally understand the perspective, Betty Rose. I just don't think he deserves much more of our time outside of this conversation.
The one thing I'll bring up is, all I know is he's self-proclaimed on X. I don't know if he was the culprit or not. I've not talked to him. I don't know him personally. I would be more comfortable if someone actually talked to him personally and say, did you do this, and make sure it was him and not somebody else, or I don't know. It just seemed, we don't really have any really proof besides he self-admitted on his X account, but people put all kinds of things on X account. So, Joe?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I would not be comfortable with, first of all, I'm not comfortable with the idea of censuring members anyway. But if we're going to go down that road, I think a person is innocent unless proven guilty. The man should certainly be allowed to speak for himself before we make the vote.
Yeah.
Personally, I kind of agree with Allison's comment. If this is the person who's seeking attention, giving him attention is the last thing we want to do. If the activities have stopped, perhaps we wait and see if it happens again.
Yeah, I withdraw my second. I really like what Allison had to say.
I withdraw the motion. The truth of the matter is, if someone admitted it, I don't know how much more talking to him is going to do. He said that he did it. I would hope that we could just block him from commenting, but even that might give him ammunition. That's something Sean would have to decide, I think.
I think the thing that I don't want to say bothers me, because it doesn't really bother me at all, is that someone that had access previously must have, if it was Russ, which again is innocent until proven guilty, except he did say something about it, is someone that had the authority, had the password, was logged in, gave him access. So it wasn't just him, he was an accomplice, or someone else was the accomplice, whichever way you want to look at it.
Can I ask a
And I know
question?
he is BFFs with Wiley.
Because as a board, do you want to take any action? Do you want to ban him from our X account for 30 days?
Oh, I think he should be banned forever. He's also trying to dox people. He's very nasty person.
Meta also.
But I mean, the social media policy says 30 days, he can appeal and we can deny. I think we passed the policy. Let's follow the policy, but he is blocked
Yes.
on multiple accounts. I'm pretty sure I've witnessed him logging in different accounts, blocking, unblocking. Very, very weird, erratic behavior.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, Joe
Yeah,
Johnson.
go ahead, Joe.
Our communications director has the authority to do this unilateral from here, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I refer to our communications director to take care of this.
Okay.
And I just want to point out, Russ has had his hand up for a while.
Well, we're having a board meeting, so unless the board wants to hear Ross,
I
We
would
can
like
let-
to. I think he's involved
Okay.
in the tech, he may have something valuable to share.
so a motion to let Ross speak. Is there a second?
Second.
Any objection? All right, Ross, you're unmuted. You will be unmuted.
All right, thanks. I'm not sure exactly where to start with this. I'm a little stunned by the conversation that just happened. I caught up on some of the social media stuff this morning. To be honest, I haven't been paying attention since like beginning of December and the holidays and all that. But this morning I spent some time catching up and there was conversation about it in some group chats I'm a part of. And first of all, there's even from my end, even from like having more information than you guys do, I don't think it was Russ, and I don't know who it is. All I know is that some people who still had access but weren't using it said that they got some notification that the password was changed or something like that. So let me just first of all say, if the person taking over a social media account doesn't change the password and doesn't reset who has access to it, I don't think that's on the people who still have access. I think that's kind of on the person who's in charge of that account. And secondly, yeah, I'm glad the board got there that guilty until proven or innocent until proven guilty is the principle we should abide by here. But yeah, I don't see a reason to like go banning people based on hearsay or rumors, or I don't see any evidence for this. And I know some of these people personally. Russ, I don't have a ton of, I haven't interacted with him a lot, but he's a family man. He's married. And in my experience, yeah, he's a little fiery. He has opinions, but he's libertarian. Most of us do. And I don't think we should be punishing people for that.
Russ is blocked because of very inappropriate things that he says and doxing and other items. It's not because he's suspected of using the account without authorization.
Well, fair
So-
enough. I don't know anything about that.
Yep. No, I have no issues with people being rude and disrespectful. I actually think it's fun. But he's it's concerning his behavior. It's not just normal libertarian arguing. Second, he did say he did it. Third, like you said, they got a notification the password has changed. I honestly don't even know how that's possible because the email associated with the account was Jordan's. So it would have only gone to Jordan's and his account is not even active. It's email forwarding to me. So I don't understand how Twitter would have done that. But that still doesn't mean that they should log in and start posting when they know they shouldn't be. That's personal responsibility, right? I'm not going to just walk into someone's house because I have their key. Unless they've explicitly told me to.
Okay. Thanks, Ross, for your input. I appreciate that. I think the board does too. I guess the way it stands right now is our communication director has a new policy where they could ban someone for 30 days. And so the board really doesn't need to do anything unless the board wants to ban somebody for more than 30 days. Otherwise, it's in the hands of the communication director.
Another possibility is we could ask Russ for a statement. What did he do? Why? How?
Well, that's where I was going. I mean, yeah, innocent until proven guilty, and he might have just wanted to take credit for it, and he might not have done it. I don't know, but because at this point, does anybody want to make a motion on this subject, or want to have any further investigation done?
I would like to see someone that knows him reach out and ask him.
Okay. Would someone like to reach out to Russ? I mean, he's a sustaining member, and just have a chat with him about. It'd be nice to know how he gained access, so we know other people from the outside or inside or outside can't gain access. That'd be good for the party to know that.
I think there's like when you change a password, it doesn't kick people out. So if they already had access, they still had access.
Mhm.
So they've had it the entire time that this board has been on the board. They just weren't using it until then. Perhaps it was because some password reset notification went to them, which is weird. I honestly have no idea how Twitter would have done that. But we did go in and kick everyone out. There is an option in X, so we did do that. So no one else, again, unless he's hacked my phone, no one else is able to log in.
Okay, so Betty Rose had a question. Would someone like to reach out to Russ Daniels?
If they no longer have access, maybe it's not important.
Ross, sounds like you're the only one who's mentioned that you know it.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, I'd rather have it be a board member, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, so I guess I'm asking the board if someone on the board wants to reach out to Russ. I think the important thing is to find out, did he actually have access, and how did he gain that? And just get a little more background information on it. Kirsten has her hand up.
As her hand up.
Hi, I can reach out to Russ, and the other thing I'd like to chime in about is that there was no messaging whatsoever for the month of December.
Yeah,
Why
there
was that the case?
the 2FA, the password, we couldn't get in, and the 2FA was on a phone that had been traded in. So there's always 2FA issues on phones. So we were working on getting the password. Also, Sean, sorry to speak over you. This isn't my role and I'm still talking, but Sean isn't on Twitter. So,
I feel like Twitter is kind of important though for our outreach and like places that libertarians or liberty-minded people actually are. And by kind of important, I mean critically important.
yep. So again, we had 2FA issues, new phones, finding people that wanted to even go on the account. So, I think I've answered the question.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kirsten. If you want to reach out to Russ and just ask some general questions, like we discussed, and then you can report
I'd be happy to
back.
do so. Let me know what you
Thank
want me to ask.
Okay, thank you. Okay. I think anything else on this topic? Okay, hearing none. There's no other new business that I know of. Does the board have any board members have any announcements they'd like to make, upcoming events? Joe, do you have an upcoming event?
We do actually. Arapahoe County is having the annual convention that is on Saturday, January 24th. It'll be held at 21079 East Mineral Drive in Aurora. So if you are a libertarian in Arapahoe County, please plan on attending. The time will be from 2 to 6. One more time, that address is 21079 East Mineral Drive. in Aurora. The date is January 24th, 2 to 6 p.m. While I already have the microphone, being the campaigns chair or campaigns director, there are 113 open races, state and statewide. Add in another 540 county partisan races, and thanks to our current bylaws, we only have 230 eligible libertarians. If you happen to be one of those 230, having been a sustaining member registered as a libertarian, please consider running. Political party is not a political party unless they run candidates. Otherwise, we are a T club. So, one last quick comment, by the way, the quote is innocent unless proven guilty, until implies guilt.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Any other announcements from board members? Hearing none, we'll go to members. Members have any announcements they'd like to make? I see Karen Ann has her hand up. Member announcements of upcoming events.
Chair Lobby, I wasn't able to make the beginning of the meeting, and I'd asked that I'd be able to make public comment at this time.
That's the next item.
Okay, I'll wait until then.
Okay. Is there any members that want to make an announcement? I think you're on about, now we're moving to member comment period. You have 3 minutes, Karen Ann. Go
Okay,
ahead.
thank you. First of all, on the continuity binders, I just would remind the board that is in the bylaws. So if the prior board eliminated them, they did not have the authority to do that. I would also ask whatever happened to all of the items that were in the Google Drive. There were 10 years of institutional knowledge, including continuity binders, and like everything under the sun was in that Google Drive. I expect it was saved somewhere. I'm not suspecting it wasn't, but once you find that, you will find a treasure trove. Also, I'd like to address a concern with the board is this hasn't happened like for the past 3 years, but prior to that, Colorado led the way in board transparency. The board emails were open to the public. So like we could see the agenda, we could see the reports, we could see that social media policy that you guys were discussing, that no one in the public who's watching this meeting has any idea what you're talking about. So I'd really encourage you to go back to the transparency. And this goes back several years. This isn't even anything on the passport. It goes back further than that. And that Colorado be the leader again in transparency, particularly considering that the LNC has completely dropped that ball, that Colorado can be the leader on this. Members can't meaningfully interact with the board if we don't know what you're talking about. And of course, some things need to be confidential, legal issues, stuff like that, but nearly everything should be transparent to the public. And I encourage the board to get back to that strong tradition in Colorado. Thank you.
Yep, thank you, Karen Ann.
Karen Ann, this is Robin. Can I speak to that?
Yeah, go ahead, Robin.
Just started doing that again. I have a deadline of posting the board agenda and reports. And the board reports that have come in, some I did not receive, but the ones that I do have and that did receive, we posted those to the website under board reports or board records. So they are there now, but this was the first month that we've actually done that. So just to let you know, we are on that process of being more transparent and making sure everybody has the information.
And maybe, Robin, where people see the board meeting date, maybe we need a link, not a link, but just say go to board reports or something so they know where they exist. So that's something we can work on. So
Great. I will figure that out.
an average person can maybe navigate there. Okay. Any other comments from members? Hearing none, I have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Anybody object? We are adjourned. It is 8:30 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great week.